We are being taxed to death, and it shows that Canadian provinces has some of the most progressive tax systems in the industrialized world.
But you can't really afford any berries. So blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, unaffordable. All of it. We can't afford it.
9 things cost me almost $100.
To feel helpless. We're playing against a stacked hand. Someone's holding all the cards, and now all of a sudden we're going to be left to pay more.
The prices in the shops, in the supermarkets. I went to the supermarket yesterday. I got 2 items, or chips and a tin of custard. $10.33.
Carbonated water, gas water, which is so cheap in Germany, is 20 Canadian dollars a year. And I bought protein shakes, chicken, eggs, hot chocolate, and multivitamin. The total cost was 134 Canadian dollars.
These videos are everywhere. Everyone's complaining about Canadian taxes and affordability. Someone's complaining about groceries, someone about gas prices, someone about income tax. But nobody's actually calculating the real number. How about lifetime taxes that a Canadian pays on everything? Birth to death, every single tax. We all know about income tax, but there are hidden taxes, things like corporate taxes, fuel taxes, sin tax, import duties, our ex-allies' tariffs. A lot of times we end up paying without even knowing. So I calculated all of them, and the number is so bad, I'm planning to start a GoFundMe for Canadians to retire. In 2024, an average Canadian household earned about $114,289. They paid $48,306 in total taxes. That is 42.3% of what they earned. The median approximate earnings of an average Canadian household is about $2.4 million, assuming that the working years are between 20 and 64. Now, of course, you don't pay the 42% when you're at the age 20. You pay way lesser, but at 50, you pay more, way more. So over the course of a Canadian's lifetime, it averages to approximately 42.3%. But here is what most people don't know. That 42.3% includes income tax, sales tax, import duties, and a whole bunch of taxes that you don't even see. Let me break down every single one of them. I'll start small and work my way up. Let's start with buying a house. Land transfer tax in Ontario on a 500k home is $6,475. In Toronto, you got to add $4,475 more. That is $10,000 just to move the paperwork. Of course, they give you a first-time home buyer rebate. That is up to $4,000. It's so generous. It's like giving you a band-aid when there is a nuclear bomb right above your head. Let's bring up that calculator, shall we? That's $10,000 gone. Let's keep counting. Every time you fill up your tank, every vehicle registration, there is carbon taxes built into it. That's about 3% of your lifetime tax burden. And over the course of 45 earning years, that adds up to estimated $31,000 in fuel and carbon taxes. The running total now is $41,000. We are not done yet. Do you feel like you live in Vegas? Or at least do you think we got the weather or the lifestyle of Vegas? Regardless of that, we got sin taxes. Alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, they charge these amusement taxes on entertainment. That is about 4% of your total tax burden. Over a course of lifetime, that is approximately 41,000 Canadian dollars. The running total is now 82k. These small taxes, they're adding up so fast, aren't they? Tariffs on imported goods. Probably the biggest one is from our ex-ally. Add on the natural resource royalties that are passed on to the consumers. Sounds like random fees that the government invents. That's about 8% of total lifetime taxes. Approximately 82,000 in total. Completely invisible, but you end up paying anyway. The running total is now 164,000. And I haven't even covered the known ones yet. Property taxes. You buy a house and you own it, right? But you pay the government forever or they seize it. So in my opinion, you either rent a house or you buy a house and pay the rent to the government in the form of property taxes. Over the course of an estimated 30 to 35 years of ownership, that's about 11% of your lifetime tax burden. We are looking at an approximate amount of 113,000. In our minds, we own the property, but technically we are leasing it from the government. The running total is now 277k. The big three is yet to come, by the way. Everyone's favorite, sales tax. The fancy words like GST, PST, HST, that's 5 to 15% on almost everything you buy. So you've already paid the income tax. Now you pay a tax again when you spend what is left. That's 14% of your total tax burden. Every purchase, every transaction for an approximate 45-year lifetime. The estimated total is about 143,500. Over 400,000 in lifetime taxes already, and we still got 3 more to go. Here is one tax that most people don't know about. Corporate taxes. You might say you don't own a business, but it doesn't matter. When governments raise taxes on businesses, the businesses raise the prices. So technically we pay the price, it's just invisible. The economists call it tax incidence. This adds up to about 14% of total tax burden. Add another 143k hidden in every single product that you buy. So our running total is now 563k, and I've saved up the worst two for last. Payroll taxes. Who doesn't love payroll taxes? CPP, EI, health levies add up to 19% of your total tax burden. So let me get this straight. You pay income taxes first, then they take away the CPP, and then when you retire and collect the CPP, they tax it again as income. Lifetime payroll taxes for a Canadian is approximately 195k. Our running total is now 758k. That's almost worth a shoebox apartment. One more to go, the big one. Income tax. Everyone and their cats and dogs know about this. The federal and provincial taxes that ruin your paycheck, that is 27% of your total lifetime tax burden. Every single paycheck, assuming 45 years of earning, lifetime income tax is about 277k. That's not a typo. That is $277,000. Let's bring up that running total now.
$1 million.
Yes, we are at $1 million. I'm sure you know about the guy Vince McMahon, a reportedly terrible guy, but he made this one promo in a live event about how life is not fair. And at the end of the promo, he said,
Life sucks, and then you die.
yes, he said life sucks and then you die. In Canadian context, Canadian taxes suck and then you die. Just that in Canada, even after you die, there is one bill left. It's called a deemed disposition. That's where the government pretends you sold everything the day before. That means 50% of the capital gains made are subject to taxes. And RRSPs, you know, the amount that saved you taxes over the course of life, they were waiting for this day to be taxed in full. And then there is the probate fee. That's 1.5% of your estate if you are in Ontario. If you are looking at a $1 million estate, that is $14,250 just to prove your will is real. So in Canada, even death has a transaction fee. Now let's add it all up. Every single tax from birth to death and after. That's a total of $1,049,000 in lifetime taxes. 42.3% of everything that you'll ever earn. And that's more than what you spend on food, clothing and shelter combined. Now look, I understand that taxes fund the roads, which are always on maintenance during spring and summer when you wish to drive. They fund the inaccessible, partially covered healthcare. They fund the schools for which you have to register 200 years before the kid is born. So this is not about whether taxes should exist. This is about one burning question. How much do you actually pay in your lifetime? That's over $1 million. And here is the kicker. When the Auditor General tested the CRA call centers in 2025, the agents gave accurate answers only 17% of the time. That is 83% wrong. Let's say you run a business and you have a potential customer who is worth $1 million in lifetime. Would you give them wrong answers 83% of the time? With that accuracy, can you even hold them as a customer? You know those subscriptions, Amazon, Spotify, Netflix. If you don't like the service, you can cancel them anytime. But the CRA has perfected the model of subscriptions. You are auto-enrolled at birth. The price increases every year. There are hidden charges everywhere and you can never cancel. And then when you try to rest in peace, they charge you with one last bill. Over $1 million, that is your lifetime subscription for being a Canadian. Smash that like button if this hurt you and subscribe for more financial trauma, because unlike CRA, the subscription to Guru Samvad will always be free. If you have stayed this long, do check out this video. YouTube seems to think you might like that one too. And I'll see you on the next one.